Makes you wanna go. Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na. Makes you wanna go.
You know what? I'm laughing, don't you?
The hey.
Hey, I'm Fat Albert. I say that all the time. I
Yeah,
sound
I
like,
know, I know,
and
I
probably
know,
half the people watching this don't have a clue who Fat Albert is, so we just
I
dated
know.
ourselves,
It's
right?
your signature.
Yes. How are you? How was your holiday and all of that?
I'm doing well. It's over.
Good. That's what I say too, girl. Yeah.
It's
All
fine.
righty. Well, everybody, we want to welcome you to Gab with Golden Bronze. We really do appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to stop in to see what we're gabbing about. We have a new platform coming up already. I'm just going to tell everybody we got a new format. We have a lot of new exciting things coming forward. So you'll need to check us out on a daily basis because we got a lot going on this year, and I'm so excited about it.
Me too.
Yes. Today is our fun day. And we thought that we would, every now and then do something fun. And we're going to be doing some engaging stuff with the audience and all kinds of different things. But today we're going to do another movie review. And we'll switch that up and do some news and different things with that as well. But there's this movie called Last Known Destination that kind of fits into our brand. It's not it's domestic violence, but it's not interpartner domestic violence. And so we thought we would review that and just talk about it. So I'll just start off with saying that I think it triggered my co-host. I think this is the one that she said triggered her or whatever, excuse me. But it starts off with a young lady is a social worker, I believe. And well, actually, it starts off with a trunk opening and then closing. And so I kind of then knew the whole format of the movie. But it talks about this one young lady. Her name is Danae, and she's a social worker or counselor of some sort. She does therapy counseling. So she's talking with this man, and she's telling him that she's going to go on vacation and to a family reunion that I don't think she has seen her family in 5 years from what I could make of the movie. And then the next thing you know, she's leaving the office, walking down the street, and she wakes up in this basement chained up with this other lady in chains. Now, I'm going to let Mickey G say a little bit and then I'll come back. I'm getting hoarse, so forgive me.
Okay, so Danae, in the course of going to this family reunion, her aunt Shell kept calling her and saying, "Are you going to be here? When's your flight? We want to make sure we pick you up." She said, "I'm going to be there. I've made my flight reservations, and you can see it's going from Philadelphia to Atlanta, which is where she was supposed to be." And her aunt kept calling her and said, "I don't want to bother you or anything. I just want to make sure we have everything ready for you because we haven't seen you in a while." And of course, she had told her client that she was counseling before that she was going to be away for a month on some family stuff.
Right.
So of course, then she wakes up and sees she's in a different place than her bed.
Right. And so I heard her telling there's when she wakes up, there's another lady already there chained, just like he chained, bound her up with chains as well. So she wakes up screaming when the lady asks her, "Are you okay?" And apparently, that other lady had been there for, I think, 60 some days or 67 days or something. And they don't remember anything after being abducted. Actually, Danae said all she remembered was getting in her car. Kelly is the other lady that's there, and she said all she remembers is tail lights. So apparently, whoever abducts them throws them in the trunk of the car and takes him to this basement where he lives, and keeps him there. And I think he's like a regular in this city, and nobody knows that he's doing this. And so, go ahead, Mickey G. I'm not
Yeah.
going.
Well, but Danae said, "You remember getting into an Uber?" She said, "All I remember is getting into my Uber, and then I woke up and saw you here."
Right,
And so the first lady, I don't remember her name, was telling her, these are
Kelly.
the rules you need to stay. What was her name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Okay. Yeah. She said, you just need to know the rules. You have to be quiet and on and on. And Danae was so disoriented. She just got up
Screaming.
screaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
she got up screaming. And
Help, get me
then,
out here.
yeah, so the guy came downstairs and he told Kelly to keep her quiet. And Kelly said she didn't know the rules yet. She didn't know the rules yet. And so she tried to kind of talk to Danae and let her know you've got to keep it together down here. Because,
Right.
you know, and so she said, what did she say? Is he going to keep me here? Well, she said, how long you been here? I think she said 60 some days, like you said.
Hmm.
And so I'm sure that
So he
freaked her
just
out.
gave up. You just gave up. And she goes, no, I didn't give up. You
Right,
know, he said, but I just lost track of time, being in this basement.
right,
And
right.
so they become friends, and talk it out. And he then they switch the scene to this older gentleman going to the bar. And they never really show the abductor's face ever. But so I think I know who he is, but they show this older gentleman going to a bar frequently in this town that he lives in. And he flirts with a young bartender. And she says something like, you know, meet me at the courthouse tomorrow. And he said, be careful what you ask for. And so she talks about how difficult it is to do online dating and to even find a gentleman that can carry a sentence and let alone a conversation. And so she discusses with him the difficulty in just finding a date. All right, all right. Thank you for returning. So I want to clear up something. The lady in the bar, she's a brunette, dark haired lady, was jogging. And she is also the bartender, but she was jogging on a jogging trail, and somebody's watching her from above. And she gets a phone call from someone and tells them she's on her way. And I do believe that she was on her way to work to the bar. Okay, go ahead, Mickey G.
And before we left on the break, Golden Bronze was saying she was talking to a man about how difficult it is to do online dating. But she's also started online dating with this guy. They've been texting back and forth and kind of trying to feel each other out. And she's trying to make sure he's not weird. And at the same time, when she's getting to know this person online, her mother has been texting her and she's been blocking her mother's calls. She won't answer her mother's calls. So she's estranged from her mother, but she's connecting with this new guy and talking to the old guy, the elderly guy at the bar about online dating. So,
Right. And so she goes, so she likes the older guy because she's flirting with him and saying, hey, let's get married and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, be careful what you ask for. And then she proceeds to talk about how difficult it is for online dating. Then she becomes the third victim. Do you recall how that goes, Mickey G?
I do. But what happened prior to that, she and the gentleman that she had been talking to on online dating, they finally met. And he met her at the bar and they struck up a conversation. They really liked each other. And at one point, she went home with him and did, adult activities. and and she left his place and they really hit it off. He was really into her. and they were supposed to meet again at her job, but she wasn't there. And so he was asking where she was, and the woman said, she just didn't show up because the other day I didn't show up. And so he said, really, I'm really concerned about her. And she said, are you some kind of stalker? So
Mhm.
they weren't really believing him. So he was kind of alarmed because he couldn't reach her, and they were really getting into each other, so it made him concerned. So this is last known location. She was at the bar. No, she had left his house. And so
Right.
he was the one that was looking for her.
She was
Because
supposed to be on
remember,
her way to work,
right,
and so so Danae was on her way to visit family members and never made it. And her last known location was the Uber. And what's the brunette's name, Mickey G? I don't think
remember
I
her
remember.
name. I don't remember her name, but remember, there were people that they kept brushing off. And they kept not returning the calls for her aunt. And this
Right,
last woman wouldn't return the calls of her mother.
right,
So there would have been people who would have been concerned about them, but they were blowing them off.
right. So, do you remember how Danae got abducted?
The new girl, I don't remember how she got abducted. I don't remember how she got
I don't even think it showed. It just, she
she
didn't
showed
show
up
up at work, and then she ended up in the basement.
there on the same chains. So these women were chained with a long chain to
Yeah.
a cement block
Connected.
on the
Yeah.
wall. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So she woke up terrified.
Right.
So what this guy was doing was assaulting them, sexually assaulting them. And that's what he was he had them there for, but under the guise that he loved them, or he wanted them to love him. You remember that?
Yeah, but it was one sided. It wasn't
Yeah.
them that was him. But he buried one. Do you remember that? When he was out there digging? You remember?
I remember in hindsight, I think I discovered something closer to the end of the movie about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe when he was finished with them, I think that he killed them and buried them. His home was on this big old open land, and it was generations of them lived on this property. So like the property conveyed generation to generation. And I believe that from what I can tell, he would do what he would use them for as long as he wanted to, and then he would terminate them, unalive them. Yeah, unalive them.
Yes. But you know what turned everything was the guy from the dating site. He contacted the police saying, I can't find this girl. And then they started seeing other women who were coming up missing, and they put them all together as something that was there was a pattern. And so they started searching for this person of interest. And
But do you remember how they also showed a clip of the blonde girl, Kelly, was on a date with another woman and they were kissing? They kissed.
yes,
That was the
yes.
girl in the bar.
Was
Same
it?
girl. Same
It
girl.
was a different one. Okay.
And somebody's watching both of them.
Yeah, because the one she was kissing went back to San Antonio. Remember, she came in for a little bit. She said, I don't want a relationship. Then she said, well, I'm going to go back to San Antonio. And Kelly was crushed about that because she was embarrassed because she'd come out as lesbian. And
So you do
so
remember that part, right?
I
Yeah.
remember that part. Yeah, it came back to me.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. So, but
Yeah.
but the twists and turns of this movie just had me glued to my seat. I didn't want to move from it, because the way it was so intricately tied, and there are surprises at the end. We won't tell you about the ending of it, but
Oh yeah,
oh
I'm gonna
boy.
tell it at the end. That's the
No,
whole
no,
purpose. So we'll get to it.
no, we don't want to tell that, but there are some serious twists at the end.
Why wouldn't we want to tell it? That's what this is, a movie review.
Because we didn't
Okay,
tell the
Nick.
last one. We didn't tell the last one. We said we wanted them to just watch it. So we didn't tell them exactly what happened at the end. But, it's up to you if you want to tell it.
Yeah, I want to tell them. I'll tell them a little bit. Yes,
Okay, that's cool.
but
That's cool.
this movie is a thriller. Basically, you can call it that. And what it brings to mind is how ladies have to be careful about your surroundings. We take for granted nobody's watching us. We think when we go to the bar to have a drink, if you go to the bar and have a drink, that you're safe. But you never know who in that bar has eyes on you, and you get in an Uber. So many of us, including you and I, ride in
Yes.
Ubers, and you just never know if you're going to get out of that Uber. Really, we teach our kids don't get in the car with strangers, and now we all get in the car with strangers, right?
We pay to
So
do it.
yeah, we pay to do it. But I do think that they're supposed to be background checked and all that stuff,
Wow.
supposedly. I don't know.
Well, hopefully, hopefully they are.
All right, so we'll be right back, everybody. All right, everyone. Thank you for returning. So let me go back just a little bit. The brunette worked in the bar, flirted with the older man, was trying to establish a relationship or something with the guy from the internet, the dating site. And she was supposed to meet him at the bar. He was supposed to come to her bar, and he was running late, and he kept asking her to wait on him. And she kept saying she couldn't wait. She had to leave. So she was walking through this parking lot, and it looked like it was a covered parking lot. And somebody walked up from behind her and got right up on her. And she said, turned around and said, "Do I know you?" And he hit her in the face, knocked her out, and she woke up in the basement with the other ladies. And just like the other ladies, when she woke up, she wakes up hysterical and screaming and crying and yelling. And they hushed her as well because they wanted her to not bring him downstairs, not to work him up and get him all worried and everything. So the three of them are held captive, and he takes them one at a time. Now he's taking he took the brunette, unchained her, and took her upstairs to violate her. And so he takes his turn. He takes turns violating them. And from what I think, he does that for as long as he feels like it, then he unalives them at some point. But Mickey J, I'm gonna let you hop in here.
So the three women realize they have to count on each other, so they're creating a bond together. And so they found some kind of way looking at how these um, these bolts were in the concrete that was holding their chains, and they figured a way. This concrete was old, so they started finding a way to scrape it. They took something from the toilet bowl. They had a toilet down there. Took something from the handle and started scraping a little at a time so they could get free. And so when he would come, they would hide it. So he had been violating these women over some time. So one particular day, when they had gotten pretty much all the way loose, he took the last woman upstairs to violate her.
Mhm.
And at that point, they were going to go up and rescue her. If I remember that correctly, they were going to go up and rescue her from him. Or was it? Wait, no, he took Kelly up there. He took Kelly up there because he had
Mhm.
already violated this woman. And then he took Kelly up there, who was the first woman up there. And they said that he's going to kill her. So they
Yeah, I
have
think
to,
he did them in rotation, right? And I
right,
think when he was finished with them, he unalived them. But
right. But then what he did, he went out of sequence, which threw them off.
yeah,
And so that made them suspicious that something was going wrong and that he was going to unalive
Kelly.
Kelly. So when he
Hmm.
took Kelly upstairs, they had figured out how to get loose, and they went up there to save her from this guy who was choking the life out of this woman.
Hmm.
So they gained up together and they got tools. I think one of them got a knife and someone got something to hit him, and so they were heading toward the bedroom. Now, meanwhile, the police are investigating all this.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I can go back. They came to his house to question him at one point and didn't see anything, but something seemed a little weird. They went to his job to see if he was there certain nights that these women came up missing. And the boss said, "Oh, yeah, he was here. See, look on the surveillance camera." And then he came into work, and everything was copacetic. So they said, well, we can't prove that it was him. So the women went upstairs to save Kelly, and they had to attack this guy, which was kind of brutal. You remember when they went up to the room and they
Yes.
went to attack the guy? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, so they went up to attack the guy, and about that time, I think one of them had taken a knife through him. He was on top of Kelly, so they took the
Hmm.
knife to him, and he expired. He fell off, and they all ran out to the police who were just getting there. They ran outside, and the police were just getting there at that point. So they were running to the police and running to the police. And it seems like someone was still left in the house.
No, they
Someone was,
all three were out. It was only three of them, and all three of them ran to the police car. And they
yeah,
were saying, help us. But the police already had figured out who he was and where they
right,
were at.
right, right. But the thing is, I think someone went back in the house because here's the twist: there was another one in the house who looked just like the first one, and he tried to unalive whoever it was that went back in the house because they thought they had taken him out. So
Right.
how's he trying to kill us? Didn't we already? I mean, unalive us? Didn't we already handle him? And so he's coming back to get us. It was like the whole Freddy Krueger thing again. You
Right.
know, you think the guy is gone, but he's not. So he comes to in one of their lives at, at the base of the stairs. So what they come to find out, it was not one, it was two. They were twins, and the so the police, one of them I think went inside when they told them we've taken him out, we've taken him out. So one guy went in to investigate. The other woman stayed at the car, and she took care of the victims. But they found out so much more about this guy's odd life and the person who was buried out in the backyard because he
Okay,
was
so
burying people.
I missed the fact that there were twins. So the first one that he buried was the twin to the other, the one that was
No,
still,
no, both of the twins were alive, but
those
they
were the left in the house, right?
right those two, the one that was unalived at first, who was on Kelly, and then there was another one that showed up. They always thought it was one person. So what they had done,
You know, I missed that myself, girl.
oh, I was watching. I thought, see,
I
this
was
is
thinking
the
it was the same one.
oh no, these are the twists and turns because there's some more stuff. I don't even want to start it yet before we go to break. But there were some real weird twists because I didn't expect another person to come up. I just thought it was the same guy, but it
Uh-huh.
wasn't. So they were, you know, you know how twins pretend that they were this person. Like if you're dating twins, and
Yeah.
one says he's the brother, and then it's really the other brother.
Yeah.
It was something kind of weird like that that happened with him. So the twists and turns continue. You know, just a
All
lot
right,
to
everybody. Hey, she put me up to speed because I must have went to sleep on that part. We will be right back.
you. Okay.
All right, we are back. We are back. So let me just clear something up. When Mickey G was saying they went back into the house, what happened was they started out of the house and they heard someone in the trunk. And he had a fourth girl in the trunk and she was beating on the trunk, but they couldn't get the trunk open. So Kelly went back in the house to get the key and she went upstairs to get the key to the truck. Well, the brunette followed her, and as she got in, the twin brother, he had a twin. That's the part Mickey G wasn't going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. He had a twin, was standing behind the door, grabbed the brunette because he didn't see Kelly go up the stairs. So he grabbed the brunette and was choking her with a chain from behind. And Kelly heard all the hustle and bustle and came to the top of the step because she went upstairs to get the key and saw him choking the brunette. So she turned around and looked. She's like, damn, dang. Didn't I just
We're
kill him?
excited. We're
I
excited.
know. Didn't we just So then she realizes that he has a twin. And these two brothers, like Mickey G said, interchanged lives. They shared the same life. Instead of two, they acted like one. So she turned around and went back and got the knife out of the stomach of the first brother and ran down the stairs to stab the second brother. But he let go of choking the brunette and tussled with Kelly on the ground, start choking her. And like Mickey G said, her brain should have been zero oxygen level because she'd been choked to death twice. But anyway, while he's choking her, I got real excited because the brunette was just sitting there looking. And I'm like, that what is taking you so long? I don't want you there if somebody's choking me. I want you to grab that knife and get them. You sitting there watching him choke me, and I'm coming down here to save your life. What the heck? So she finally grabbed the knife and stabbed him in the back. And I said, that took you too long. I do not want you there with me if somebody's choking me, because you're going to sit there and watch them choke me for about 5 minutes before you decide to help me. And I'm trying to help you. What the heck? So anyway, after they do that, all of them get outside. And as soon as they get outside, the police have now figured out who is the kidnappers. And so they run to the police car, and the male cop went inside. The lady attended to them and saved them from the trauma, put them in the police car and everything. Then it flashes forward to 3 months later, and it shows Danae. She's the therapist, psychotherapist, or counselor, something, counseling that same older man that always went to the bar. I thought he was the one. I don't know why, because they kept focusing on him. But I thought he was the abductor, but evidently, obviously not. And then they show her in the bar, and then they show all of them living their lives normally 3 months later. And so it is a thriller. It's you have to really be patient with the movie because it takes a while to get to the excitement. You got to get beyond the abductions and all that stuff. But I would say watch it. It's on Tubi. It is called Last Known Location. I would say watch it if you want to see a thriller. So we will be doing some more movie reviews, but we're also going to do some other fun things that I'm not going to share with you. You just have to check in every now and then. We're going to have what we call a fun day, where we just don't talk about any serious topics or anything like that. I want to say we have another part to the movie, and I want you to stick around for the second part. This is part 1. Part 2 is interesting. So come back after this commercial break and listen to the rest of our show.
Or you can tell it now. It's okay. We got a couple of minutes.
It takes me a couple of minutes. The next part of the show is talking about Gab with Golden Bronze. I will say that we do sponsor Golden Swan Cadre. That's what I meant to say, is talking about Golden Swan Cadre. We do sponsor Golden Swan Cadre. And so the next part of the show is very interesting, and it tells you about our mission, vision, and purpose. And my co-host then tells you how you can donate to Golden Swan Cadre. We have a lot of neat things planned for this new year, and we would like for you to support us, watch us, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Go get your chips, Coke, whatever. Come right back, because we're not done yet. We're just taking a break.